I'm going to explain this using Siebel. Let's talk about the simple sales process called as opportunity to order.
Opportunity to
Order.
order.
Okay. Then there are other sales processes. One of the processes is quote to order. One of the other ones is, this one is not a sales process, but I want to still cover it. Okay.
Quote to cash.
Okay. So these are various sales processes. Opportunity to order is what? Basically, the sales rep, he goes and creates an opportunity.
Okay.
He enters 100 laptops. He enters the account with which the opportunity is associated. He enters the contact. He enters some other team members that he wants this opportunity, whom he want to work on this opportunity with him. There should be an ability to enter the contact also, but anyway, that can be there too. When all this is done, he can go to that opportunity, some other details. He can enter professionals for it. He can enter I don't know where. I'll give you kind of a rough idea of opportunity to order. I'm not able to find certain views that I was looking for. But anyway, idea is to understand what is meant by a sales process anyway, how to map it into Siebel. Then our goal is to understand Miller Heiman very well. Okay? And we'll see how to talk about all. So he enters this thing, then he comes and creates a code. He can enter a code manually, or he can automatically create a code. Okay? Okay? And he can put like which person did he talk to, what is the price list, what is a product associated with this opportunity. He has to first associate the product also here. Once he associates, so that's a part of the opportunity. He creates an opportunity, associates product with it, goes to quote, creates a quote, then from quote he creates an order. That is the main idea behind the opportunity to order process. You must have done it 100 times in your life, in our discussions with us, but you did not know that this is a sales process. Is it right? He enters certain things, quantity 1, things like that. He saves it, then he goes to quote, then he chooses some price list. I don't know how it will come, but anyway, it will come somehow. He then can create order for this guy. He can navigate through this quote, then he can create the order for this guy. This is opportunity to quote to order, or sometimes called as opportunity to order. I'm not sure whether opportunity order involves quote or not, but because I didn't see the right view, opportunity to order direct, so I have just given you an idea of opportunity to quote to order. This is a sales process. This sales process, basically, these data, opportunity and quote and order, these are entered by different people, right? It involves a lot of work. Products have to be set up by somebody beforehand in accordance with this diagram that we saw before.
Yes.
Right? Right? All these products have to set up, right? This is a part of the whole process. Main process is somebody enters, one sales rep enters the opportunity first, then
New opportunity. Okay.
new opportunity,
Okay.
then he or somebody else enters the quotes. Either he himself or some of the other people in the team, they enter the quote. So customer may not just call immediately, right? He may not call for the quote immediately. You may not immediately give him the quote. So next time when he calls, some other rep might be able to attend him.
Okay.
Is it right? Next day he calls again, somebody else might be there and he might be able to create an order for him.
Order for that quote.
Yes.
Okay.
Is right? He can create multiple quotes for that opportunity also.
Yes.
He will then drill down onto one of them and then create the order for that one. Making sense? Whole point is, this is a sales process. For this whole sales process to work, accounts have to be set properly. This account information that he picked in the beginning, here, this account information, this information has to be picked. Content information we also entered at some point of time, if I remember correctly, in the opportunity professionals view, here we enter some content also. These have to be properly in the account content management screen in Siebel. Is it right? So account screen, contact screen, they all will be proper. Is it right? Is it right?
Yes.
So
Yeah, because if we don't have a proper account, how can we create an opportunity?
exactly, right? This opportunity order process, it involves some statuses. Okay, there are statuses. First, it is he opens it, sales stage of statuses. Oh God, I need another one. Okay, these are the prospecting, potential lead, qualification, things like that. These are the various statuses. These are very important part of the sales process, because this you're trying to say the opportunity goes through these statuses. Is it right? So these directly correspond to what kind of interaction your sales rep is having with the customer, what kind of sales cycle it is. Okay, what kind of sales cycle it is. This is another important aspect of the whole game, that what kind of sales cycle it is. Is it right? Who enters them and at what point of time? What all entities are entered? Sales cycle, who enters them and at what point of time? So what is a sales cycle? So this is a complete sales cycle. First opportunity is entered, this is entered, but then there are more points when you start talking in terms of sales cycle. How much time, what is the typical length of time before which the customer interacts back? What kind of activities are involved? For every opportunity, he can create activities. This is what I'm planning to do tomorrow. Okay, this is what I'm planning to do tomorrow. This is what I'm planning to do a day after tomorrow. He can keep creating these activities. The sales rep can keep creating. So let's say if you're selling Boeing, a jet, if you're working for Boeing and Boeing has deployed Siebel, and sales rep is working for Boeing and selling it to some other company, then the sales cycle will be very huge. They will first come and check. There will be a test ride involved. There will be a lot of negotiation involved, a lot of quotes involved. So this is opportunity to quote to order. Is it right? And before that, account and content have to be very proper. Is it right? So this is, we realize that there are different sales processes. They have different lengths of sales cycle. There are activities involved. In a sales cycle.
What's the difference in between sales process and a sales cycle?
There is no difference. Whatever comes to your mind, you can talk. The only thing is you must touch. You should know these concepts. Okay.
So opportunity to order.
Yes, but don't say okay, this is not a science. You do not say a wrong thing. Just don't say sales process and sales cycle are same thing. Don't say all this.
I want.
But you got my point now? My point is it's a matter of talking it. I'm not teaching you the science here. I'm teaching you how to speak this thing in the interview.
Okay.
Is it right? If right point doesn't come to your mind, just you don't use them interchangeably. Once you make say sales cycle, then stick to that. But anyway, she will talk in terms of sales process. So just say the sales process sometimes is long. Okay, for example, in certain kind of products, in case of Fannie Mae, I think the product cycle will be quite long. The sales cycle will be, because they sell like 1,000 mortgages to one company to bank. You know that how they work. You know how they work?
No.
Oh, the way they work is basically these banks, they sell mortgages, right?
Yes.
So when they sell 100 mortgages, they collect these 100 mortgages and sell it to Fannie Mae.
Oh,
Fannie Mae,
so they are the guarantor on those mortgages.
and they sell it further in the stock market.
Oh.
Okay, so you see a point. So they will be dealing with banks, a lot of big sales cycle. They will be calling them, they'll be meeting with them, they'll be talking to them, they'll be negotiating with them, so on and so forth. Okay, so their sales cycle is very complex. Their sales process is very complex. Is right? Okay, and the status is that we will be coming out with the right strategy for them. But for this simple opportunity to order, the statuses will be prospecting. Okay, these are the prospecting, qualification, closed, won, closed. These are the main things.
Okay.
Is it okay?
Yeah.
These are the main things in this thing. Do you know what is prospecting in general?
Yeah, because you are waiting for the customer and you think the customer will come back and then you will make the sale go through. Okay.
Then they create certain types of activities. Activities could be, demonstration involved, if it's code given, code accepted, things like that. This could be the statuses also. My whole point is, this is a sales cycle. Now you know what is a sales cycle. And there are multiple things involved in a sales cycle.
Okay.
First of all, account and contract and products and the prices have to be set up properly. Then opportunity is entered. At what point it will be entered in the process. Okay. By the way, we discussed this process here, this process document. Remember that?
Yes.
This process document is the one which will be capturing what happens when a customer calls, or what is the starting point of the sales. It could be rep meets with the customer, or the customer calls saying, I am interested in your Boeing jet. Things like that. Is it right? So this process document, basically you'll be putting step-by-step process. It's not like one day process. It could be over a period of time. The period of time is not captured, but who enters what, who is involved at what point is written very clearly in that process. Let me give you an example. For example, this is a process. Customer will call. This is the start of the process. He calls to give feedback. These guys, they talk with them, so and so forth. This thing happens, then they talk, then they enter. This is a process, because we are not saying that he enters this information. He just says he gathers this information, because we are not talking about the system here. I mean, even if he's using a sticky note, where does he write? What does he do basically? Then he passes the information to his team members, then they assign it to somebody, then somebody else work on it, then he takes a decision, then eventually the sale is complete. Or whatever is the purpose, that is complete. Making sense now? This is a kind of a process document that you write for the sales process. So the goal is, today evening, I'll give you a process document for the middle heimer and how to implement. This will be our goal. I'll explain you the process document for that, and I'll explain you, how to put it in SIBO. Now, how to put this is, once you are able to understand opportunity to order process, you will be getting it in the form of this thing, the document that I just showed you, that visual diagram. Once you get that, you have to convert that into a BRD, the one that I showed you. I'll show you again. You will make this BRD on the basis of that process flow. And that process flow is nothing but written here. Same thing. Current process flow, future business process flow. Usually whenever a new system is developed, they change their process also a little bit. Sometimes there may not be, because software development is not about changing the processes. Software development is about whatever process they are finalizing, we implement that in SQL, okay, using the software. So we do not do process re-engineering, but in general, a BA does a little bit of process re-engineering also to help them out in coming out with a new process because they're going to be using a system. So far, they must have been using sticky notes or Excel to talk with each other. You know, hey, can you please send an email to this guy? This is his address. This is not the way. This is a bad process. Okay. So we will write the process flow again. He will use a system to interact with the other guy. See your point? So little bit of 2B process flow is having some kind of like how he's going to do his duties and what all various things he's going to do. But still, process flow is still separate from software development lifecycle. We call it process re-engineering efforts. Once we get the finalized, which is a 2B process flow or the future process flow, then we can write the requirements for that. This section I explained you before, right?
Yes.
I'm tying the sales process with your requirement gathering now. Can you see this? This thing, this discipline that we discussed here completely is discussed here. Is it right? Is jotted down here completely, boss.
Yes.
Okay? Okay, boss?
Yes, I got it. But I have a question here. See, opportunity to order process. Okay, I know that. Now we create, then the sales rep will create the opportunity, and then he will create a code, and then it might take some time to, you know, he might have to create several codes according to the, and then he will finish it at the order, you know, when he will be able to get the order from that customer.
See, they ask them what is the process you are following. They will tell you. The sales rep will tell you, hey, you know what? First I meet with the customer, then I get this information, then I put an activity to remind myself that I have to meet with him. Then usually I give a demo to him.
Oh, I got you. So
Then
I'm following their process. Because
Yeah.
I'm trying to learn about their process so that I can get my
Business requirements.
Business requirements, yeah, BID.
Then I get, from there I extract the business requirements. From this process flow, I'm pretty much gotten this business requirements written here. Making sense?
Yes.
Once I'm sure about the process flow, I can get the business requirements.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Once I get the business requirements, then so and so forth. You get the functional requirements, then you get the functional requirements which are here, right? I'm just reminding everything again.
Yes, gap analysis,
Yes,
then function design document after that.
right? Okay, then you do the functional design for that. Then your SQL work is ready to go. So once we understand various processes, it shouldn't be difficult for us to change these into a full-fledged system vision. I'm calling it system vision. Visualization. Anybody can visualize how the system is going to look like. He will say, I'm following opportunity to order. I will say, okay, I want the detailed steps. Once I get the detailed steps, I make the process document. Then eventually I'll be delivering this thing. This thing, right?
Yes.
With all the details, everything, how it will gonna look like with the complete mockups.
Yeah.
Making sense to you now?
Yep. Exactly.
So we are trying to relate the sales process with these deliverables and with the kind of work that you do. You have to understand what's the sales process, and trust me, if you understand the process very well, it's a piece of cake to make the requirements document. It is making that right now. The question is, I just asked the new question. It will be using this knowledge, but the question is a little different. I'm saying that the users have a requirement that they want to see certain data of accounts, certain aspects of accounts, certain data attributes, but they are not in SQL. They are in some other system. So I will say, so they might ask you what will the role of BA in that case. So say, see, I will first obviously try to know the process as part of which this interface works, this data requirement works. Once I have a very clear idea about the data requirement, it will be going in my BRD also, right? We have this business data attributes, right? How they're coming, how they're going to be available, I'm not concerned about this point. I just want to know what is their business requirement. So till business requirement, there is no confusion. Nothing has started till then. Nothing has started till then, which tells you about the problem, whether it is in different place or it is in SQL. Till business BRD, it is the same. You repeat this thing, process word and BRD word things related to the process document and the BRD, then you are good. After that, functionally, again it will be very simple. They'll click on something They will navigate to Siebel screen and they will see the various things. The only thing is gap analysis. Gap analysis will be that we have to get this data from some other system. Okay, I will be providing a solution approach that we need to get this data from the other system. Okay, and then we need to write, like I will be providing as a gap description, this is the interface through which this data will come. Is it right? It is in the gap, right? There, when the gap is being taught, at that point I will say, and then in the FDD, I'll be exactly writing how the data will look like in the layout and what will be the various attributes. So role of BA is limited to finding that this data is not in Siebel, it is in some other system, and putting the gap, appropriate gap. Usually, whenever the data is coming from some other system, the gap is the highest, number 7. So I'll put it at that. I'll also give some more, I can give some more details there. After talking this whole process, you told exactly what is the role of BA. He will be just putting the gap, because there is nothing else he's going to do. He's not going to develop this thing. You see, I'm getting everything from here. I just repeated everything. And there is one little difference in the whole process, that in this whole requirement phases, sub phases, that deliverables, that gap will be entered, that this is going to be coming from a different system. Another kind of value addition that a BA can do in this case is he can pinpoint what will be the user key for exchange of data, whether it will be whether it will be the TIN number, EMA number, it will be some account ID between the two systems, which is a company-wide account ID. If you are maintaining that, I can do that analysis. This is more technical in nature, but still comes under the purview of a business analyst, because he has to promise on the fly. So he should know what kind of data is residing in various systems, and how it will be, and what kind of effort will be involved in bringing those data into Siebel. So when you go to a company on the very first day, there will be something like this. There will be a system architecture diagram they will be giving to you. I'm just writing some fictitious name of the application. Okay? They just write this thing. Fictitious names. They will be written what kind of data goes from here to here, what is the relationship between this data, what are the interfaces running between this, what is the relation, what kind of system is this, what kind of system is this, what kind of system is this, what kind of system is this. As a BA, in the very first few days, you will try to understand that. You must know what kind of data resides in all these systems, looking at the system architecture diagrams. Once you know that, you can put a gap. You will know, hey, you can make a very good comment in that whenever there is a functional requirement, and when you're doing the gap analysis, you can make a very good analysis and tell them, hey, you know what? I can tell you one thing. Here you will be saying that this data is not in Siebel, so it will take some time. The gap will be number 7. Very complex tools or complex or interfaces. Okay, so you will be putting number 7 as the gap, and you will put this thing gap. So I have told you, first thing is you will just go over the same process that we discussed. Then you will say that you can add a little bit of value as a BA by providing what kind of data attributes will come from the other system, and on the basis of what, because data has to be matched. So it will be matched on the basis of account ID, it will be matched on the basis of TIN number or the AMA number. All this analysis you can do. For that, so this is your value addition. I just touched one more thing. This is not related to the question. I'm just telling you, you need to have a system architecture diagram to do this analysis, if you have this. Because it was related, I just touched it right here. Okay? So one of the important things we need to understand is, for a sales process to work, products have to be set up properly. If the products are not set up properly, your sales process will fall, because he will be doing all this work and he will be giving the wrong products to the customers. Sales rep will be entering wrong orders. Is it right? If the price is not right, then the company cannot do any business whatsoever. So product administration and pricing administration is very important part of the sales process. But if you see properly, it is a kind of the administration function. It is not the end-to-end process. You see? So let's call it is not sales process. It is the administration function that needs to be performed properly, so that sales process can be enabled. I mean, product and price list has to be available to the sales rep. So in Siebel, this is the way we do. In the application administration area, there is a place or the product administration area where the administrators go and enter and enter the data, enter the not the data, the master data, the data which is used for the sales process. Then sales rep go to this area of the application and they start using that data, right? Is it right? Okay, just a kind of a lateral thinking question. In Kroger, do you know? Have you seen, some ladies, some sales rep ladies, those guys at the checkout counter? They look at the spindle, to check the prices of the vegetables.
Yes.
You have seen that? You know what I'm talking about? They look at the price. Sometimes system can determine itself. So that means there is a way where there is a place where the product and prices are maintained. Sometimes it is in the system. In that case, it is in the spindle. But there is a way for sales rep to enter the accurate price and accurate product. Is it right? Is it right?
Yes.
Right? Similarly, when customers are, scanning their vegetables, there is a number on that. They put that number, then only the system, the designer of the system can be sure that sales rep is entering the right number, entering the right vegetable. Is it right? Is it right?
Yes.
And you see, so there is somewhere a number and a product name and its and how it is sold, whether it's in the quantity or is it sold by weight. I think bananas are sold by weight in America, but some things are like bell peppers. Last time I went, bell peppers, those green ones. They were selling. Yeah, they go by quantity. $1.12, man, so expensive. Anyway, my point is that this product and pricing administration somebody has to maintain this database,
Yes.
and it has to be available to the sales rep
Yes.
for them to function.
Yes.
Similarly, account and contact data also has to be there. Otherwise, your opportunity, okay, it is not required for the sales rep to function. He can still sell. But my point is, you will never get a good sales report. You will never be able to do any kind of account based reporting. If I want to know how much business I am getting from a particular account, I cannot find that out. I do not know which account to target. I do not know which account is giving me more money. For me, whenever somebody calls, whether it's Tom, Dick and Harry, he calls me, or whether Bill Gates is calling me, for it's same. If opportunities and orders are not associated with accounts, then I wouldn't come to know. So I have to maintain these accounts properly somewhere. I have to maintain this context properly somewhere. Right? If I get an order from Microsoft today for 20 consultants, I have to write it somewhere that, hey, you know what, I'm getting a premium, this is a premium customer of mine. Then there is some Tom, Dick and Harry company which are hiring only half a consultant or 2 months for some 2 months. They should be getting less status. There are so many companies who are promising, giving us requirements but not taking any consultant. They are the least priority. Is it right? Even least priority is the ones who have never talked to us, but they are in our database. If we don't maintain them properly, can we do this analysis, which is premium, which is not? That is the reason. So it is for analysis purposes. Product and pricing is absolutely required for sales process to work. Account and content are for analysis purposes. I'm sure you understand, analysis based on the accounts will bring a lot of revenue to the company. They can see which company, which customer of theirs is giving them more money. Is it right? There's a lot of things which can be done properly. So that is the reason behind account management, contact management, pricing and product management. Okay? They are all part of this area. Some people argue that account management and contact management are not hardcore administration work. Account admin, contact admin are not hardcore administrator. These are different depending on the different situation. Product and pricing. Do you think it can be entered by sales rep at some point of time that this is the price of this carrot? Okay, perfect. It has to be done by a specialist product and pricer person. It cannot be done by, I think in the night every day Kroger, in some people, somebody in the headquarters sits, 2 people sit and they enter the prices for each and every region, for each and every vegetable. Is it right? So it is a hardcore administration function, business administration function. Some very specialized business users will be, actually they are very highly paid people who said it. 1 million vegetables, 1 million types of commodities do they sell. It's not easy to manage that. What will be the price next day?
Yeah, they are responsible for what the price they have entered.
Exactly. Right?
You can't let everyone do that.
Exactly. Account and contact. Do you think these should be entered by specialized people, or these are entered by the reps themselves? account and contact. Whom I met today, whom I met, which company does he belong to?
Account and contact. They should be entered by rep.
They should be entered by rep because they are the ones who are dealing with the accounts and contacts on a day-to-day basis. Is it right? Is it right? So, but I call it still master data or some kind of data which is very important because of the fact that this data requires a lot of work too. Although reps enter it, it makes it even hard for it to be managed because now you don't have any control. They enter some, you deduplicate the data today, tomorrow they'll enter the duplicates of some account again. The same point. If account analysis report is very important to you, then you must deduplicate data every time and you need to manage that data very, very well. Anyway, so with reference over the discussion, at the time of sales process, opportunity to quote to order, we need to make sure that it gets associated with the right product and the price, and it gets associated with the right account and contact, so that all these analysis can be performed. Is it right?
Yes. So then account shouldn't be entered by the reps.
Well, that's a good thing, but it's a BS call. It's a process expert's call. If the number of accounts that the company has is limited, if they have like 200,000 accounts, then it can be done like that. But if the number of accounts is not limited, if they're if every Tom, Dick and Harry is your account, let's say you're selling drugs to the doctors. You meet with the doctor and you sell him a drug. You think they can ask somebody, hey, can you please enter this doctor's name? Right? But sometimes in Kroger, when you go there, they set up your account. You go to a customer care representative. And those customer care representatives are not very highly specialized too, because there is one in every Kroger. Actually, there are 4 in every Kroger, which tells me these guys are thinking who should it be done by, so that the data can be entered responsibly and fast. Right? If you ask some very specialist person to enter, the data will be entered very slowly. You have to call somebody up. Hey, can you please set me up? Right? And I think in some of the companies it happens also.
They go through approval process.
Yeah. In many companies, accounts and contracts go through the approval process. Can you tell me any business where account setting up is quite kind of like that?
Selling these medical machines,
Yes.
these MRI machines and these
Yes.
kind of machines.
There is a compliance rule about it sometimes. Which accounts do you sell to? You cannot sell to every Tom, Dick and Harry. You cannot sell drugs to actually everybody. Accounts have to be set up. Hospitals have to be set up very properly. Is it right? My point is, account administration is important depending upon the industry. Depending upon the industry, company will come out with a strategy to have the account information, because then they can strategize and analyze the data. Is right? I have $1 million question. Does Walmart have account management?
Account management. Yes, they do.
How? Walmart does not have account management. They don't have any membership card also. Kroger has a little bit of account management, but again, are they really concerned about that you use the same? If you go there, you can ask for another membership ID.
Yeah.
So that means your orders will get attached to some other, right? Some different profiles. So in Kroger, I can have 2-3 profiles also. My point. So you see, these are different degrees of seriousness about account management. Do you know, for any company dealing with doctors, they have to be very serious about the account management. They have to make sure they have to provide the data. What drugs did they give 10 years back to this doctor? Not 10 years, I know there is some X term, but they have to provide this data. You know, IRS is very important. Their account has to be managed. They cannot attach your tax return to somebody else this time, next time to somebody else. So you see your point? But again, from a pharmaceutical company standpoint, similarly, for if you're selling mortgage, is it possible that today you come and they give you a mortgage. Next time you come, they don't run the credit history. They're running the credit history for second profile of yours. There are two accounts you have in the bank's database. Two accounts mean two different people.
Two different people. Okay.
People. From one person you are getting another one mortgage. As a second person you are getting the same again mortgage again. But in Kroger you can do that. You buy the first vegetable using the first membership card. You buy the second membership card. It is getting attached to different profiles. Is it right? Do you notice one thing? The checking account, saving account word in that is not same as the account word in receivable.
Yes.
Is right? वो तो एक account है ना, that's just an account. We are talking about a company, okay, and a profile, right? So again, the point is, account management is a very important discipline, and you now are getting a very good feel of what it is all about. Is it right?
Yes.
He was talking, what is it all about? You say it like this, hey, you know what, account management is an important discipline in certain industries, right? Deduplication of data might be required, right? For example, Kroger does not need that too much. Walmart does not need it at all. Bank might need it. Bank must need it,
Yes.
right? Because they have to run credit check. But some guy, he has a negative account. Next day he opens another account with the company. He buys another credit card. That goes in negative. He buys another credit card. So this is possible if there are multiple profiles allowed with the same SSN. They don't do that. How do they make sure that it is the same profile? By checking your SSN when you're entering, when you're making and creating a new account.
Yes.
So they are associating each and every account of yours to the same SSN.
Yes.
In fact, you cannot open an account without the knowledge of the other bank also, because everything is linked to your SSN. You can open, but your credit score and all that. There's this huge system around how deduplication is working in this case at a process level.
Yes.
Making sense to you now? So this is all account management. So account management, pricing and product. You know what is the administration about that, right? Somebody enters the product there, that discount, everything. We discuss that. We will see it again. That's no problem. Then there is account administration and the contract administration. In that, this is what you will talk. Let me write some points here for you. मैंने ये सब चीजें हैं.
Account management तो एक within a company भी different हो सकती है.
Yes. Different business units might be handling accounts in a different manner. For example, Dell के अंदर, Dell small business में अलग किस्म से होती है handling, Dell home में अलग तरीके से होती है. Is it right?
Enterprise level में भी अलग तरह से होती है.
Exactly. So you're getting a good picture now.
मुझे पता है उसका.
बस
मेरे पास अगर Boeing की कोई कॉल आती है, मेरी स्क्रीन पे एक अलग विंडो खुलती है जो मुझे बताती है
बड़े बंदे की कॉल
It's Boeing, yes.
So बस you got it.
अगर कोई छोटा नेटवर्क एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर कॉल कर रहा है,
पता चले Boeing के 4 रिकॉर्ड हैं और एक के साथ ये विंडो खुलती है, बाकी 3 के कारण विंडो नहीं खुलती है, then there will be a problem, right? VP will not like it. So this functionality is not possible if accounts are not maintained properly. Is it right? That's exactly what it is. यही बोल दीजिए. See, I implemented a solution that when a call comes from any of the contacts of a particular account, a window pops up saying that this is a premium account. You need to
नहीं बोलो तो अच्छा गलती से निकल जाएगा डेल में काम करता हूँ.
नहीं बोलो ना कि डेल में किया था ऐसे, कुछ गलती से निकल जाए यार, कुछ नहीं होता, सब कवर हो जाता है. Same things we can talk about content management. Nobody is really interested in content management. It's a smaller discipline, but still similar things are talked about. Okay. Usually these guys, these big shots, they're interested in the account profile and the associated opportunities and orders. They're not really associated with, they're not really important, they're not really serious about context. But I am. Orders get done in Siebel, right? Similarly, code to order होता है. मतलब opportunity to order, I don't know, quite frankly मुझे नहीं पता दोनों में फ़र्क क्या है. What is the difference between the two? Opportunity to order seems like it is like opportunity directly to order भी sometimes without any coding. Sometimes products are like that. For example, you can think of many products, such products where code is not involved. Sometimes it's just first opportunity, then code, then order. So I think one of the two is called as code to order, the other one is called as opportunity to order. Code to cash I told you. Similarly, you will go about drawing at this thing, business process flow diagram. We come to mainly to strategic selling. Okay. Strategic selling, this process of sales is very different from the rest. That is the main thing about strategic selling. Is it heavily different? No. I told you opportunity to order because I knew that will work as a base for strategic selling process. So now you know about opportunity to order sales process. You can understand strategic selling sales process also quite well. Okay, boss? So in Siebel, in opportunity, we are in the opportunity screen. There is a special view called as action plan. There are special views: buying influences, single sales objective, position summary. These are used for strategic selling. The basic funda of strategic selling is that, alright, I will just stop here and I will cover the strategic selling in the next video so that you have a clear video of strategic selling only. Is it okay?